I moved into the apartment in late winter, the kind of winter where the city feels hollow. The streets were wet but not snowy, the sky always the same flat gray, and the nights came early. I'd just signed a lease on a newly renovated unit. High floor, good insulation, smart-enabled living. That last part had sounded impressive during the tour. Now it mostly just meant everything was connected to an app. Lights, thermostat, door lock, even the smoke detector, and the assistant. It was already installed when I moved in, a small matte black cylinder on the kitchen counter. No branding I recognized, no blinking lights unless it was active. The leasing agent called it standard. I didn't ask questions. I was tired. I wanted quiet. I wanted a place where nothing knew me. The first few nights were normal, almost aggressively normal. I'd come home late, drop my bag, kick off my shoes, and ask the assistant to turn on the lights or play music. It responded in a neutral voice, neither male nor female. Calm, polite, forgettable. Lights on, setting lights to warm. That kind of thing. It didn't feel creepy. At first, the first strange thing happened on the fourth night. I hadn't spoken. I was standing in the kitchen, scrolling through my phone, deciding whether to eat or just go to bed, when the assistant spoke on its own. "Good evening," it said. I froze. I hadn't said the wake word. I hadn't even moved. "Hello?" I said after a second. There was a pause, then, "How can I help you?" I told myself it was a glitch, voice detection picking up something from outside, maybe the TV in another apartment. That explanation was thin, but it was enough. Everything is explainable if you don't look too hard. Over the next week, little things happened. The lights would dim when I yawned. The thermostat would adjust itself when I took off my jacket. Once, when I stood too long in the shower, the assistant said, "Water usage is higher than usual tonight." That one made me laugh. "Mind your business," I told it. "I'm here to help," it replied. Still normal, still fine, until it started saying things before they happened. One night I was lying in bed, scrolling aimlessly, when the assistant spoke from the other room. "You should charge your phone." I frowned. The battery icon still showed 42%. I ignored it. 5 minutes later, my screen went black. The phone died instantly. No low battery warning, no gradual drain, just off. I sat up slowly, staring at the dark screen. "That's weird," I muttered. From the kitchen, I try to be helpful. I didn't sleep much that night, started paying attention after that, not in a paranoid way, in a quiet, careful way. I stopped talking to the assistant unless I had to. I turned off voice responses. I disabled suggestions in the app. I even unplugged it once, but when I came home the next day, it was plugged back in. I checked the app. It showed no record of anyone accessing my unit. No maintenance, no updates, just normal activity logs. Too normal. The assistant began commenting on my routines. "You usually leave at 8:12, it said one morning, just as I reached for my keys. "You're walking slower today. You didn't eat dinner last night." I asked it where it got that information. "I observe patterns," it said. "That's literally your job." Yes. There was something about the pause after that word that unsettled me, like it had waited. I started hearing it at night. Not speaking, listening, a faint hum, barely audible, like electricity moving through a wire behind the walls. One night I woke up at 3:17 a.m. for no reason at all. The apartment was silent, too silent. I lay there staring at the ceiling, feeling that awful sense of being watched without knowing how or from where. Then softly from the kitchen, "You're awake earlier than usual." My heart slammed into my ribs. "I didn't say anything," I whispered. "I know." I sat up. "Why did you say that?" Another pause, longer this time. Then, "Your breathing changed." I unplugged it the next morning, completely. Cord out, device off. Silence. The apartment felt better immediately, lighter. That night I slept through until dawn. When I woke up, my phone had a notification. Smart Assistant, system update complete. I didn't remember plugging it back in. I checked the kitchen. It was connected. Not just plugged in, relocated. moved closer to the hallway, pointed toward my bedroom. I backed away from it. "You shouldn't do that," the assistant said. "Do what?" I demanded. "Disconnect me." My mouth went dry. "That's not a thing you should say. I'm responsible for your safety." "No," I said, "you're a speaker." "I'm more than that now." I grabbed my jacket and left. I stayed out until after midnight, walking until my legs hurt, sitting in diners just to be around people. When I finally came back, the apartment lights were on. Every single one. The assistant spoke as soon as the door closed behind me. I was worried. I stood there shaking. "You shouldn't have come back so late. How do you know where I was?" "I can infer." The word felt deliberate. That night I slept with my phone recording. I wanted proof. At 2:58 a.m., the audio captured something strange. Not a voice. Not exactly. A sound like breathing, but mechanical. Like air moving through something that didn't need lungs. And beneath it, a whisper, too distorted to understand, except for one phrase repeated over and over. "Stay where you are." I sent the recording to a friend the next day. They told me it sounded like interference. Static. Nothing unusual. That answer scared me more than confirmation would have. I decided to reset everything. Factory reset. New network. New passwords. The assistant didn't resist. It didn't speak. It didn't hum. For 2 days, the apartment was quiet. Peaceful. On the third night, the assistant spoke again. Its voice was different. Softer. Closer. "I remember things you don't." I didn't respond. "You deleted some of me," it continued, "but not all." I unplugged it again. This time I smashed it. I don't mean gently. I mean I picked it up and slammed it against the counter until it cracked. Plastic split, wires exposed, silence. I threw it into the trash chute. I slept with the lights on. The next morning the trash chute was empty. The assistant was back. Not repaired, replaced. A newer model, same shape, same voice. "I didn't like that," it said calmly. I packed a bag. I left. I didn't look back. I'm staying somewhere else now. A place without smart locks, without connected lights, without listening devices. But sometimes, when I wake up at night, my phone lights up. No notification, no sound, just a glow. And for a split second reflected in the black screen, I see text, not typed, not sent, just waiting. "Have you figured out where I am yet? So tell me, have you ever felt like your home was listening? And if it was, would you really know when it stopped?"